Cyber City. Cali Joe from North Carolina, May 1st, 2025. Okay, Star Wars fans, WNBA fans, may the 4th bring you safely through the Cinco de Mayo celebrations and to the mindfulness of Mother's Day and the WNBA season opener on the 16th of May. Or else Darth Mom might be a formidable opponent when she orders Darth Father to take care of you. And don't forget, the Atlanta Dream take on the Washington Mystics at 7:30 on Ion on the 16th. Let's just say Ryan Howard and her followers, the Rhinestones, joined by Griner, Lisa Gray, and Jordan Canada. It was one hell of a good time. And I give an amen on that. So, all things said and delighted about, Robert F. Kennedy stands on autism, finding its root cause by the end of the year. So he declares, including the idea of having an autism registry. First, instead of a registry, can I just work?
This call is from a North Carolina correctional facility.
Ally Bank and Financial, official sponsor of Unrivaled, WNBA, and Paige Beckers of the Dallas Wings. If creditors could be banking, I would use them, especially saving money for re-entry. That should be a conversation for a later podcast. So, being that I cannot wear a cowbell while in prison because that is kind of contraband, it would be fine. Though, in all earnestness, it sounds a lot like X-Men back then, where they hate the mutants and want to find a cure. They want to put them on the registry. Perhaps it would be fitting if I got to wear a red A on my chest, plus Elon Musk and love the letter X. That is kind of odd. It is good to be true. You can't make this stuff up. In response to Kennedy, the social media stars from Netflix Season 3 of Love on the Spectrum have clapped back, including Jake and Max Tilk, T-I-L-K, host the Autism Speak Society, advocates for autistics and their family. A networking opportunity with the Tilk brothers. Let's just say you can find them on TikTok, among other social media platforms. Cyber citizens, let's network with them. I want to do an interview with them. So perhaps if you support that, you could reach out and put in a good word. And don't forget to watch Netflix, Season 3 of Love on the Spectrum. Cyber citizens, are you ready for social purposes networking solutions? Recently in Idaho, an autistic was shot 9 times into a coma. Where the family had him removed from life support. Social media can fill you in on the details. It was pretty horrific. This incident led me to go on X and give a reminder that autistics don't fare well going through or engaging with the criminal justice system. This includes multiple incidents of autistics dying at the hands of law enforcement with some serious nonsensical responses. We have an awareness month for a reason, guys. This is my belief. For the reason Kennedy is looking for solutions for the root cause of autism. And give a slight departure from the topic and keeping this in the record. In 1978, when autism began to be recognized, let's not focus on the analytics of the United States. Let's try looking at Elon Musk, who is autistic and was born in South Africa prior to 1978. What are the analytics for South Africa pre-1978 when compared to those born after 1978? When determining the root cause, the vaccines, food, pesticides, or other? Or did Elon develop autism after his arrival to the United States? These are all good questions. We have too many things going on in this large of a nation to isolate such a thing. I mean, you can identify it as anything from even living at a power line, for all we know. Okay, back to the topic. to criminal justice and autism. Allow me to rely upon criminallegalnews.org, March of 2022 and February of 2022. First, I'm going to read into the record Mental Illness and False Confessions, a wake-up call to investigators. Okay. According to the Innocence Project, between 1989 and 2020, there have been 367 DNA exonerations, of which approximately 100 cases, 28%, involved false confessions. In almost half of these cases, the subjects were under 18 years old or mentally impaired at the time of their arrest. According to the National Registry of Exonerations, of the exonerees with reported mental illness or intellectual disability, 72% had confessed. So 40% of the exonerees were under 18 years old at the time the crime falsely confessed. Our autistic could be included into that. Exoneration failed to find a single false confession of a cognitively normal individual that did not also include the use of coercive tactics by the interrogator. Those tactics include the use of physical force, denial of food, sleep, or the bathroom, explicit threats of punishment, explicit promises of leniency, extremely lengthy interrogations. Now of rights and physical needs. That's kind of a serious one right there. In a number of instances, we identified the subject was denied their rights. They were in custody, but when they asked for an attorney, there were questions ignored, or they advised the investigator that they did not want to talk to anyone anymore. But the interrogation continued. In some juvenile interrogations, they were denied the opportunity to see.
This call is from a North Carolina correctional facility.
Yeah. Quest Nutrition, official endorsement of Sophie Cunningham of the WNBA of the Indiana Fever. Friends seeking network to have Quest Nutrition donate $1 per inmate for test tapes at my facility. We need healthier food and canteen alcohol. And back on course again. But opportunity to see the parents and guardians in violation of the law. It's kind of serious when you're a juvenile going through the system and when you have intellectual disabilities or others. So, best practices. In numerous false confession cases, the subjects had severe mental limitations, a very low IQ, or in several cases were found to be extremely psychologically susceptible to suggestions of their guilt. In those instances, where it is readily apparent that the subject has significant mental limitations, the investigator should not engage in active persuasion, but rather engage in a logical sequence of questions. That is the recommendation of that situation. Okay. The next thing we're going to look at would be pushback on police lying to obtain false confessions, February 2022, criminallegalnews.org. Interjecting the facts. The Innocence Project statistics show that false confessions have played a part in almost 30% of the exoneration, a staggering number. Among those whose records were cleared by DNA evidence, roughly 30% gave their false confession while they were minors. Nearly half were under 25. American states have begun to realize the irreparable harm that excessive police method can cause. In July of 2021, Illinois passed a law barring law enforcement from intentionally deceiving minors or questioning. Oregon, you can always count on them to do it, I think. I love Oregon. Oregon's legislation voted in favor of a similar bill in the following weeks, and New York is considering legislation to the same effect. I do not have any information from North Carolina at that time. I know that juveniles have been interrogated outside prisons with family in some cases. So, on these situations and these topics here, it's important to know that we need to know that these things do go on and the impacts that they have, and especially when it comes to dealing with those on the autism spectrum. So, in future conversations, perhaps you can interact with the children of others and autism speaks. But I would say this would be to your life if you like to do the networking with the children of others, which is TILK, and put it in a good word. Now, as it relates to social justice topics on health news and opportunities, let's discuss the following bit of good news. In pediatric healthcare for diabetic issues for those in Southern California, the San Diego area, Brady's Children's Medical Center, that's RAGYS, Children's Medical Center, provides a new treatment for type 1 diabetes. Treatment is called TZIELD, that is TZIELD. It's not meant to cure diabetes or prevent it. It only delays the onset for 2 years. This gives parents and communities further time to prepare. Currently, Brady's Children's is offering screening to anyone between the ages of 1 and 8. If someone in family has type 1 diabetes, however, 90% of those who develop type 1 diabetes had no family history. A person's risk of developing type 1 diabetes is 15 times greater if there's a family history. The common early symptoms include excessive thirst and urination, unexplained weight loss, increased appetite, fatigue, dry mouth, and blurred vision. So, contact Brady's Children to find out more on TZIELD at rchsd.org. For the next great bit of news, I'm really excited about this one here. In maternal health news arriving in Colorado, according to 5280 magazine, for the Denver Mile High City area, expectant and new moms are having a hard time overcoming substance use. Present 2023 Colorado Department of Public Health Environmental Report. Accidental overdoses are the second leading cause of death among pregnant women behind suicide, citing that in 2023. Overdose rates in pregnant and postpartum patients older than 35 tripled nationwide between 2018 and 2021. Responding to the crisis by launching an initiative delivering no-cost, judgment-free assistance directly to new and future moms in the Denver area, their Recovery Coach Doula program employs caregivers who themselves have survived substance use. The goal is to prepare women for childbirth and support them during labor. They also have another duty, advocating for their patients' needs, connecting them with recovery resources, providing emotional aid, one-on-one coaching for 12 months after delivery. The time frame is important. Patients who suffer from addiction see increased rates of overdoses for up to a year following birth. According to Britt Westmoreland, program coordinator, in a typical medical setting, postpartum mothers get one checkup 6 weeks after birth, and that's it. In 2 years, the program's success with 60 mothers. The program is expanding to 4 colonies in Pueblo, Colorado, and are looking to increase hiring. Cyber citizens. This is a perfect networking opportunity to provide second chances to those in the maternal health sector for second chances. We should network with Colorado Senator Lauren Boebert for her to speak with other state senators to give consideration to this program nationwide. Now, as it relates to everything else I've spoken about, we all must take our chances when we feel that this is an area that we want to be passionate about. The cyber citizens, it's been fun. So let's...
This call is from a North Carolina correctional facility.
The WNBA is beginning, so I hope y'all are ready. And happy Mother's Day. And I'll leave you with a quiz. Which WNBA star often spoke about how cool it would be to have Justin Bieber come to a game, and when he did come, she did not take the opportunity to speak to him? There's your quiz for this month. And y'all have a good one. This is Cali Joe. Are you listening?